How do you measure the size of a vector? You might think there's one answer, but there are infinitely many. Take the vector 3, 4. How big is it? That's where norms come in. The most familiar way is the Euclidean norm, just the Pythagorean theorem. The horizontal leg is 3, the vertical leg is 4, and the hypotenuse is the square root of 3 squared plus 4 squared, giving us 5. In general, the L2 norm is the square root of the sum of each component squared. But what if you couldn't walk in a straight line? Imagine a city grid. You go 3 blocks over and 4 blocks up. Total distance, 7. That's the L1 norm, the Manhattan norm. Just add up the absolute values. So the same vector measures 5 by L2, but 7 by L1. Size depends on how you measure. Now, what's the largest component of our vector? It's 4. That's the L infinity norm, just the maximum absolute value. And here's the beautiful part. All 3 are special cases of one general formula, the p norm. Raise each component's absolute value to the power p, sum them up, take the path root. Set p to 1, you get 7. Set p to 2, 5. As p goes to infinity, 4. So what does the set of all vectors with norm equal to 1 look like? For L2, it's a circle. For L1, a diamond. And for L infinity, a square. Now watch as we smoothly vary p. The shape morphs from a star to a diamond, then a circle, and finally into a square. One formula, infinitely many geometries. In machine learning, norms drive regularization. An L1 penalty has a diamond-shaped constraint, so the optimum lands on a corner, or where a coordinate is 0. That's sparsity. An L2 penalty's smooth circle keeps all weights small, but non-zero. L1 pushes to 0, L2 keeps things small. And that's basically it. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and drop a comment if you have any questions. See you in the next one. Bye bye.